The story rift pulsed with life once more. After Daniel's battle with the Unwritten, the multiverse brimmed with new colors, fresh worlds, and characters born from fragments that had once been lost. Peace lingered like a warm breeze, but Daniel felt an unease in his chest. Something was wrong. It started with whispers. At first faint and distant, like forgotten voices murmuring from beyond the rift. But soon those whispers grew louder, coalescing into something darker, an echo. Daniel stood at the center of the Infinity Arc, the glowing threads of the worlds weaving around him. Jerry paced nearby, twirling the turbo spork with a frown. "I don't like this silence," he muttered. "It feels hollow, like the calm before a paradox." Zog's antennae pulsed with sharp bursts of energy. "There's a disturbance, a resonance that doesn't belong here. It's like the Unwritten left a shadow behind." Arthur approached, lantern in hand. The fragment of the northern lights inside it flickered weakly, as though struggling to stay alight. "Something's feeding on the light," Arthur said softly. "I can feel it." Before Daniel could respond, the rift shook violently. A tear appeared in the distance, black and jagged, unlike any rift they had seen before. From it emerged a translucent figure, its form jagged like broken glass, its voice splitting into overlapping tones. "We are the Echo," it hissed. "We are what was left behind, not the Unwritten, but the rejected, the abandoned versions of stories that were cast aside. You gave the Unwritten completion, but you left us fractured." Daniel's breath caught. "You're the broken versions, the ideas I replaced." The Echo's form warped, and from it spilled distorted copies of the worlds Daniel had just saved. Characters twisted into grotesque parodies, half-formed creatures with hollow eyes. The sight made Daniel's heart sink. "Everything you create casts a shadow," the Echo continued. "And we are that shadow. You can't erase us. We exist because you chose to leave us behind." The landscape around them shattered into fragments of incomplete stories. Skies without color, castles without walls, forests where the trees ended halfway to the sky. Jerry readied the turbo spork, its time energy crackling. "I hate spooky speeches," he muttered. "Zog, Arthur, time for round 2. The battle against the Echo. The team leapt into action. Jerry spun the turbo spork, generating time loops to freeze the twisted copies. But each loop broke apart, spawning even more warped versions. Zog unleashed waves of energy, trying to stabilize the collapsing reality. But the Echo absorbed his power, twisting it into dark, chaotic patterns. Arthur lifted his lantern, its glow cutting through the shadows, but the Echo's distortion consumed the light, snuffing it out. The Echo laughed, a broken, overlapping sound that chilled Daniel's spine. "You can't fight rejection. We are everything you abandoned. We are every failure you tried to forget." Daniel realized then that this enemy couldn't be defeated by force. These were not mindless monsters. They were lost stories, each with a voice crying out for existence. Daniel's revelation. He stepped forward, feeling the threads of the rift hum in his hands. "You're not failures," Daniel said quietly. "You're still part of me, part of my story." The threads began to glow, warm and golden. Daniel reached out, weaving the broken fragments of the Echo into new shapes. Each jagged form began to soften, transforming into characters, worlds, and ideas that felt alive for the first time. "Even broken stories deserve a place," Daniel said. "You aren't abandoned. You just need to be heard." The Echo's form trembled, its jagged edges dissolving into light. We only wanted to exist." Daniel smiled gently. "And now you do." With a final surge of energy, Daniel created a new dimension within the rift. A world of unfinished stories. It was a place where every rejected idea, every forgotten character, could find meaning and evolve. The Echo dissolved into this realm, no longer a threat, but a living part of the multiverse. A new rift. The rift returned to calm, its colors brighter than before. Jerry leaned on the turbo spork, exhausted. "You just can't stop making more worlds, can you?" Zog tilted his head. "This new dimension you made, it's unstable. It's alive, but unpredictable." Arthur's lantern reignited, glowing more brilliantly than ever. "It's beautiful, though. A place for stories that were never given a chance. But I felt something in there, something waiting." Daniel gazed at the new rift, its glow strange and unfamiliar. Every story has its own shadows. Maybe this is just the beginning of something bigger. Far away, in the depths of the world of echoes, a shape stirred, a silhouette of something powerful, something that had been forgotten for far too long. And the rift pulsed as if it too was holding its breath.